Homicide 1903, the case of 38-year-old George Wilson. George Wilson was convicted of the manslaughter of 37-year-old Felix Arthur Davis. Felix Davis was a cartman who had gone into a corn merchant's at 127 Gloucester Road in Brighton on the 5th of June 1903 for a load of corn dust. He backed his wagon into the yard and a strawman lowered sacks of corn dust down to him. The strawman said that whilst they were doing that George Wilson tried to get his wagon into the yard but couldn't, and so left it outside and walked into the yard, and then had an argument with Felix Davis, and then jumped up on the front wheel of the van and gave him a severe blow that knocked him onto the wheel of the van, after which, as Felix Davis was attempting to get up, George Wilson struck him another blow which caused Felix Davis to fall, after which he appeared to be insensible. It was noted that after that George Wilson himself went off for a doctor. A medical practitioner that examined Felix Davis's body said that he found several bruises and abrasions on his head, along with a dislocation of the first and second bones of the spine that caused his death. He noted that a blow to the back of his head had apparently caused the dislocation. When George Wilson gave evidence at his trial, he said that Felix Davis had insulted him and had threatened to give him a good hiding, and that Felix Davis had struck over the side of the van and told him that he would bash his brains out. He said that he then jumped on the van and then struck him, but that after he noticed that Felix Davis was bleeding from the nose, that he bathed his face and ran for some brandy and then went for a doctor. After he was convicted of manslaughter, it was noted that he had been discharged from the army with an excellent character, and the judge said that he would sentence him as lightly as he could. When he was brought up for sentence, the judge said that he was satisfied that George Wilson had had no intention to inflict grievous harm, but he added that he was also satisfied that there was no justification for the two severe blows that he struck Felix Davis. He said that the sanctity of human life had to be respected, and as such sentenced him to 10 days imprisonment in the second division, which took into account the 3 weeks that he had already spent in prison awaiting trial.